Welcome to Promo Insiders, an ASI media podcast that covers the topics that matter most to the promotional products industry. I'm John Cargan with ASI Media, and today I'm joined by Michelle Chen, Sales Director at FASA Apparel in Fremont, California. Michelle, thanks for joining me. How are you?
I am great. Thank you, John. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today.
Well, I'm glad that you accepted the invitation. We have a lot to discuss. First, I want to get into your origin story here. How did you break into the promotional products industry?
Um, that's a long story, but just self-introduction here. This is Michelle Chen, owner and director, co-founder of FASA Apparel, based in Silicon Valley Bay Area. And how did we break into the industry? I have a story to share, actually, that would best kind of describe how every little step that we took to get to where we are in the industry. Every journey begins with a choice. The choice came very suddenly to me the summer of 2006. I was only 26-year-old at that time, working as a kindergarten teacher at a local private school. I've always had a passion for working with children, so it was a natural pursuit for me to be a teacher after college. What I was not aware of was our family's declining financial state. I'm the first generation immigrant, so my parents basically gave up their career when they decided to move to the States, allowing my younger brother and I to have a better future. Fast forward many years later, my parents realized that they needed to start another career in order to sustain living in the Bay Area. And I was already working at that time. So when my mom, Judy, proposed a business opportunity to me, I knew instantly it was not a matter of choice. It was something I had to do as a family member and as the older child in the family. Um, yeah, so, but it's a huge blessing though, because, prior to landing on the idea of creating an apparel company, she tried different things. Both my parents tried different things and just nothing really worked. So it's a huge blessing that my mom, Judy, has such a rich apparel and textile background from her previous career working as an import-export liaison for apparel retailers in the US. So she'd be working with brands like oh God, Liz Claiborne, Calvin Klein, some brands that we're
Wow.
all familiar with. Yeah, so from years of that experience, she not only understood clothing and material very well, she was also very knowledgeable with supply chain and factory operation. So with her background and expertise, we felt it makes the most sense to pursue something in the direction that she has some familiarity and she was really good at what she does. So even, landing on the apparel option, it was still a very difficult and vague idea what direction to take after that. And we just knew the bar was so high in creating a retail brand in the consumer market. So we discovered the promotional market through a family friend. And we thought this will be a place that we can bring my mom's years of experience and great sense of fashion to corporate market, where we saw little choices in regard to fashion 15 years from now. I mean, 15 years ago.
Right, yeah.
so as a family, we pour in every last bit we had, including my 401k from teaching days,
Oh,
to
wow.
buy the first batch of inventory from my uncle's factory, who also was in the apparel. He was already working with really many well-known retailers at that time. And I discovered this when really, when you have nothing to lose, you learn quickly to let go of any fear and inhibition. So that was when I realized I had to grow up fast. So I started studying the industry, the people in the industry, started doing trade shows, just flying all over the country by myself, not knowing the industry or the people, and threw myself in Shark Tank. But you can't learn what you don't know. And I felt like I was a sponge and I was just ready to learn everything and soak everything up. Um, but one thing that is I discovered quickly, still stand true to this day, is that this industry is full of good people that work hard, people that want to help you, people that appreciate you because you share the same, worth ethic. So so many people wanted to help, and it truly is the relationship that you build from triumph and mistake repairs that define the kind of company you are. Um,
Absolutely.
Sorry, I talk so much.
No, this is a fascinating story. I had no idea. And now I got more questions for you. So was it just assumed automatically that you would kind of take the sales role for the company out of your family?
Yes, because when FASA started out, when we started out in 2006, it was me, my mom Judy, and my dad Andy. My brother was still in college at the time, and I wasn't
Okay.
married. So it's my parents, even though she has the apparel background and knowledge, she had no idea about marketing or, English is a second language for my parents. So many barriers. They couldn't do this without the proper help. So I said I would be the one to discover this and to learn and to see what it takes to for us to continue to do this. So yeah,
Well,
and
was you already having that teaching background?
mhm.
Uh, kind of like a public speaking. Did that make it easier to jump into sales, or was it kind of like a whole new field for you?
um it was easy, but not easy at the same time. It was easy because I am just this bubbly personality and I love human interaction. I just love making friends and be helpful to others. So, even though it was transitioning from dealing with kids to adults, and I remember my first local meeting was presenting to Five Guys in San Jose, a local distributorship, and I was scared. I stuttered so much I couldn't speak. And the guy said, Michelle, it's okay. Take it easy. We're just a bunch of kindergartners. We're no different from your regular audience.
That's good.
So people, just people are so kind in this industry. And yeah, so I feel like just in my heart, I'm just really happy that we chose to be a part of it. And now looking back 15 years later, we made a good choice.
Are your parents still involved in the company?
Very much so. My mom, Judy, she still is um, the the connection we have with our factory. And we actually are in a really dynamic position too, because we partially own our factory overseas. It's my uncle's operation. So there's that family bond, and they do a lot of retail business. So they do OEM factory direct for retailers, and we use the same factory. So in a way, it really helps us to be a stronger team, that we don't just import from, you go through suppliers change. We don't, we stick to our core. And even outside of family, our second fabric mill, we've been working with them since day one. So that's 15 years long too. So I
Wow.
think the stability of our supply chain and things that we can do as a smaller operation, but just we can be nimble in some areas that other people